Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, guys, we got the bitch-ass files, man. Bow, 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 bow. We got... Was that the theme song? That went... No, that should... I don't know. I always get the Simpsons mixed up with the X-Files, man. They were both on Fox, and they both gave me nightmares as a child. We got 5 unbelievable NBA myths we all believed were true. Video by Jimmy Hot Rod. Also, guys, if you didn't notice, man, which you probably didn't because I got a hat on, got my hair cut today. I got a buzz cut, guys. 5,000 likes, and I'll reveal it next video, guys. Here we go, man.
Last season, Kawhi Leonard hit one of the most clutch
Jimmy Hot Rod,
shots
by the way.
in
Link to his channel
recent
description
playoff
below.
history.
If I did not
A
say
buzzer
that.
beater to send the 76ers home after a nail-biting 7-game series. Kawhi spent the next month stepping up in some of the biggest moments of his career on the biggest stage,
And that ain't no
earning him the
myth.
title as one of the most clutch shooters in the league. Only, the idea of being clutch is a myth. Specifically, clutch shooting does not exist.
No?
I know. It sounds absolutely ridiculous.
Just out of
but
your mind insane.
It's true. There is
No, it's not.
virtually no correlation between being clutch and playing great in big moments. Because when you look at the numbers, regardless of if a player is known as being clutch or not, it really has no effect on the end result. For example,
What do you mean?
take Michael Jordan, regarded as arguably the most clutch player of all time.
Well, Luke Kennard says hello, but okay. I'm intrigued. By the way, happy birthday, Luke. It is his birthday today, guys.
And take DeMar DeRozan, a player that is known for his lackluster performances
Michael
in
Jordan with
late-game
hair.
playoff situations. For his career, Michael Jordan shot 46% from the field in clutch moments.
Okay.
In this case, clutch being defined as the last 12 minutes of game time when the score is separated by 6 points or less.
How do you
This specific
figure this
time
shit
in
out?
the game is defined as clutch moments because production and efficiency in these moments swing the win probability considerably more than any other moments in the game. Some fans may define clutch as something different, but for this situation, this is the definition
It's a
we
fair
are working
measurement.
with. In these same circumstances, DeRozan shoots 44%.
Okay.
Hardly any difference at all. So it must be in the playoffs where Jordan separates himself as a clutch player, right? Wrong.
No.
Even
okay.
in the playoffs, MJ has very similar clutch shooting numbers as DeRozan does. Another player who is regarded as a clutch assassin.
But also, don't you gotta take into account how many clutch shots you're taking? Carry the 7. Exponent XYZ to the 4th, and who else is taking shots?
Was Kobe Bryant.
how many?
Compare him
Thomas
to
by
a
5?
player like LeBron, who is infamously known to choke in clutch moments, and again, you'll find that the numbers do not match the narrative. In fact, the numbers tell a completely different story. For his career, Kobe shot 44.4% from the field in clutch moments.
Yep.
Whereas LeBron has shot 51.6% from the field in those same moments.
I saw a video the other day. It was, I don't know if it was an older video or if it was recent, probably a little bit older. I think one of LeBron's sons was playing an AAU game or something like that, and he was missing shots, but he had an offensive rebound. He had the assist for the game winner and stuff. And LeBron told him it's it's not all about making the big time shots. It's all about what you do in big moments. So that's why I've never really been against LeBron, for being passive in clutch situations, which of course, he's not always like that, but sometimes he is, or he was. So
some may argue that
doesn't
Kobe
bother
has
me.
simply taken more of these clutch shots, so he is prone to have a lower percentage.
that's what I was saying.
Which is wrong.
Okay, I'm wrong.
Go through
Well,
the list of players
shut my
that
bitch
fans
ass
think are
up.
clutch and players that fans think are choke artists, and there is almost no correlation between supposed clutch shooters and the actual result.
Okay, so how does that correlate with players calling timeouts when they don't got too many, when they don't got enough left? And look at you, Chris Webber. I would consider that a not clutch moment, and I think it needs an asterisk by it.
Of course, there are players who
Asterisk.
shoot well in big moments,
Asterisk.
but the reason has nothing
Asterisk.
to do with being clutch. The only correlation here is the relationship between a player's shooting percentage in normal game time versus their shooting percentage in clutch moments.
Okay.
Players that tend to shoot more efficiently during regular game time tend to shoot respectively more efficiently in clutch
Gonna
game
pretend
time.
this makes sense to me.
In other words, the players who come up big in clutch moments are the same players who come up big in normal moments. Any other conclusion is false and based in some sort of bias. Simply put, clutch game time makes virtually every player shoot a little bit worse at the same rate. But the list of NBA myths that have been embedded into basketball history is long and filled with claims that oftentimes make absolutely no sense at all. A myth, by definition, is an exaggerated or idealized conception of a person or thing. And there are a lot of myths regarding the NBA and
I love that layup by Dr. J.
If someone says something enough times and enough people start to believe it, eventually that claim somehow becomes fact in the eyes of fans if it sticks around long enough. Like the idea of super teams and when they originated. If you ask the average NBA fan when they think super teams started, they will more than likely refer to LeBron and the Heat.
Nope, I would have to say probably with like Larry Bird and like Kevin McHale, Rob Parrish, those guys. That would probably be, although maybe even before that though. Depends on, what you consider a super player.
In 2010. Others may say the Celtics in 2008 were the first super team. And this was the beginning.
They brought it back, I think is what we can say.
The decision that threw the league's parity and competitiveness into the toilet.
Yeah, they brought it back.
But the idea that super teams were formed for the first time just a decade ago is a myth. In reality, neither of these teams were the first to put together a packed roster full of stars and Hall of Famers. The formation of super teams in the NBA has a long and star-studded history.
Oh, damn. Nobody give no F about no Jim Pollard or Slatter's actually a pretty cool name. Or is it? It's either the coolest name ever or the lamest name. And we got Vern Mickelson. Bro, imagine these guys playing the NBA to now, man. Bailey Howell, Casey Jones, Sam Jones, the Beast. Wilt, Jerry, Elgin, Gale. Okay. Well, I think he has made his point. Magic, James. Come on, put the Celtics on there so I don't look like an idiot. Hey, there we go. Here we go. Yeah, sir. I knew it, man. I knew it.
As you can see, there have been many super teams throughout the history of the NBA.
But what I need to see, though, is how those teams came together. Because the big thing about, the Celtics, people saying they were the first one, was, it was Paul Pierce's team. And then collectively, they were able to get, Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett. And those guys were okay with it. You know what I'm saying?
Since the league's inception, the idea of stacking the deck in your team's favor has always been a strategy to win championships. I mean, for crying out loud, it only took the Lakers 2 seasons to say, what's stopping us from getting 4 of the best players in the world on our team? The answer
Minneapolis Lakers
was nothing. Nothing was stopping them from having this advantage.
You'll see a fucking hook shot!
Exactly what they did. And they
never see those.
5 championships in 6 seasons. But it was the Boston Celtics who really perfected the super team in the 60s by featuring a team with 11 Hall of Famers in an 11-year span, turning the NBA into their personal punching bag. Next it was the Lakers, then the Knicks, who, by the way, are almost never mentioned among all-time great teams, but had 6 Hall of Famers with 4 of them in their prime on the same team. And in more recent history, you have the Celtics, Lakers, and 76ers in the 80s.
Notice the Pistons don't make super teams.
Bulls in the late 90s.
Went with grit and grind.
There is a gap between 1998 and 2008 where there were no super teams in the NBA. Every team that won a title throughout this 10-year stretch had a 2-man show or was one cohesive unit with a single super.
If you think about it, it actually makes the bad boy Pistons and really the 2004 Pistons really the greatest teams in NBA history, the way they were able to build those teams. And they didn't need to, build super teams like this, to be great and everything, man. It just goes to show, top ownership in the entire world, which, in my opinion, just having that mentality ingrained into the team makes me think the Pistons are going to be back sooner rather than later, and it's not going to be because of super teams.
Superstar. This 10-year gap is where I think the misconception originated. The long stretch of seasons that didn't feature a super team gave NBA fans the illusion that no such thing had ever even existed. That winning a title with a more traditional, non-star-studded team was the only way to do it, or at least in most fans' opinion, the right way to do it.
It is.
Then came the 2008 Celtics, which
the
for some reason tends to get glossed over as the team that revived the super team. And then the nail in the coffin was the 2010 Miami Heat, which reminded GMs around the league that you can power pack a team. Since then, we have seen a couple super teams and just as many attempted super teams.
That one was not
but
great.
The fact remains that the Miami Heat did not ruin the NBA in 2010, and neither did the Celtics in 2008. Super teams with an unfair advantage of sheer talent have been around since the league began. And the whole purpose of a super team is to win championships. But one myth when it comes to obtaining titles is that defense wins championships. This is a phrase used across many different sports, including basketball. But the fact of the matter is that this isn't true.
It's just kind of a bad saying because really, like, the relation to defense wins games is just that hard work pays off or hard work wins games. But, you know, because if you put in out a lot of effort, chances are you're playing really good defense. So I think that's kind of what gets glossed over like that.
Well, kinda. Great defense is an important ingredient to any championship team.
Show Tayshaun's block if you're Show LeBron's.
Is just as important,
Tayshaun
and the
did it
numbers
first.
back this up. In the last 20 NBA finals, the team with the better defensive rating won the finals 12 times and lost 8 times. In that same time span, the team with the better offensive rating won 12 times and lost 8 times as well. The better offensive team won the finals just as often as the better defensive team. In fact, over the last 40 seasons, on average, the team that won the NBA championship had a defensive rating that ranked 5th among the league. During that same time span, the average offensive rating for these championship teams was ranked 5th among the league.
Okay.
In other words, offense is just as important as defense is in the NBA.
I'd say more so now than ever.
The reality is defense and offense wins championships.
You want to really win championships? Scoring more points than the other team. Guarantee you, no matter how you do that, you will win games.
Wow, who would have thought? But as much as offense has evolved, defense has more or less stayed the same. The hardest player to defend in NBA history being the 7'1" behemoth that averaged 50 points for an entire season, Wilt Chamberlain. And believe it or not, Wilt did not score all of his points on 6'6" centers. It's a myth. This past season, the average NBA player was 6'6" tall.
Damn, bro.
Throughout the 60s, the average height
got
of an
10
NBA
inches to go.
player
Talk to me in the NBA.
was also 6'6" tall. As a whole, height in the NBA has hardly fluctuated at all since the 60s. In fact, in the 1961-62 NBA season, the season Wilt averaged 50 points per game, the average height of a center in the NBA was 6'10.5". The average height for a center in today's NBA is 6'10 and 9/10 inches. Hardly any difference at all. Wilt was facing off against centers that were the same size as centers in today's NBA.
Yeah, but back in the 60s, you was getting nothing but prom kings at the damn NBA, though. What I mean by that, man, is just like, you know, like every single high school has the prom king out there. It's just the cool, tall guy, man, that gets to play all the sports. Doesn't really got the skill, just has the height out there. Well, now, you know, NBA big guys these days are more skillful, man. So, you know, I just think it's different.
Why fans believe that he played a bunch of average-sized men is beyond me.
Prom kings.
Ever since the 60s, NBA players have always been tall. Wilt was just that dominant. But Wilt was so different for his time that it almost feels like his entire career was a myth. The things he did were so unbelievable that half of these feats literally sound made up. But one aspect of Wilt's mythical career was that at his peak, he had a 48-inch vert. You'll see this claim all over the internet like it's fact. But as magnificent of an athlete Wilt was, this is simply a myth.
It was only 47.
To give you an idea of what kind of numbers world-class jumpers put up, here are the best max vertical leaps recorded in the last
Maybe he was vertical in a different aspect. They call him Wilt still for some reasons out there. I heard this man was with about 200 ladies in his day.
20 NBA combines. Keep in mind, these are max verts, not standing verts.
DJ Stevens,
now,
damn.
Although Wilt's supposed vertical leap is 2 inches higher than any recorded NBA vert in the last 20 years, 48 inches doesn't look too unreasonable on this list. I mean, Wilt was a freak of nature. But here's where Wilt's 48-inch vert would rank him amongst the highest jumping centers of the last 20 years.
Oh my. Yeah. Wow.
With a claimed...
Fucking Miles Plumlee got a 41-inch vertical? Bro, how are you with that? How can you tell that? God damn that. I swear, if you would have, I had to bet $1 trillion to guess who had the highest, I would never in a million, billion, trillion days ever said Miles Plumlee. And how come, why are the other twins holding back then? Like, if you got a twin brother, or are they twins? Maybe not.
Vertical leap nearly 8 inches higher than the next closest center of the last 20 years.
Miles Plumlee,
this
man.
claim starts to look
What the hell?
suspicious. The highest official vertical leap ever recorded in the NBA came from DJ Steffens in 2013 when he put up a record-breaking 46-inch vert. You want to see what a 46-inch vertical leap looks like on a 6'5" player?
Sure.
Dog. Look at this. Now DJ is 8 inches shorter than Wilt was and has a vert
he'd be over the backboard.
Wilt claimed his vert
Be over the backboard.
Do you know how ridiculous it would look if a 7-footer had a 48-inch vert?
Slam ball, man.
Well, like this. Here's what a 46-inch vert looks like on 6'6" Gerald Green. LeBron has a vertical leap somewhere in the 40 to 44-inch range, and we've seen him get up like this. Here's 6'10" Blake Griffin's 37-inch vert, 6'10" Aaron Gordon's 39-inch vert, and 6'8" Larry Nance Jr.'s 38-inch vert.
Is that a hook shot?
But no matter how much digging I do, from Wilt's college days to his later years in the NBA, I cannot find a single image or clip that displays a vertical leap higher than the ones we've looked at. Granted, looking at old grainy footage isn't the best source for calculating measurements, but you know what is? This image put together by a Reddit user who used pixel mapping to roughly measure Wilt's leaping ability.
You know, honestly, I think someday we're going to have like a digital brain analysis where you can grab somebody's brain from like the 1950s, you know, somebody that went to a Wilt Chamberlain game and watched the entire thing, and you could download it onto a computer and watch footage of their brain and like things that they saw out there, man. Like, if we had that, it'd be absolutely perfect, because then we could actually watch guys like Wilt and watch their entire careers, you know, unfold and stuff like that. We just have enough footage of them. It's unfair.
Reference. I mean, my man's was really crunching the numbers. His final calculations
been watching some Elon Musk
vertical leap somewhere in the 38 to 40-inch range, which is much more plausible than the 48-inch figure we have often heard. In 2011, Dwight Howard, with a standing reach of 9'3" and a max reach of 12'6" measured his vertical leap at 39 inches. Wilt's reach was 9'7", and video evidence shows that he could reach to the top of the backboard at 13 feet, which would give him a max vert of about 41 inches. In fact, every piece of half-ass evidence I could conjure up suggests his peak vert was probably around 40 inches. Now, this may not sound all too crazy until you consider the fact that, and this may blow your mind, but in the history of the NBA, Miles Plumlee is the only player taller than 6'8" to officially record a vertical leap higher.
I don't believe it. I think that's the biggest myth of this whole damn video. There is no damn way Miles Plumlee, 40.5-inch vertical. I've never seen this guy dunk a single time in the NBA.
Than 40 inches.
Hell no.
Sounds like I just made that shit up.
I think you did.
But it's true.
It's not.
Did Wilt have a record 48-inch verts? It is very unlikely. And somehow, for a 7-footer...
Is his mom like damn Becky from Full House? You know, going out there paying the damn college, you know, combine people to lie, you know, and fix the numbers? There is no damn way Miles Plumlee jumped 41 inches, ever.
Born 84 years ago, Wilt's 40
maybe in a video game,
probably the least shocking
some
thing
2K
about
guys.
his fascinating and dominating career. Let me know in the comments, what are some NBA myths that you know? How and...
Apparently 41-inch Miles Plumlee, guys. I don't believe it. I never will.